We are at this Target section, northern Minnesota, and as per usual, fully stocked. However, it does look like they don't have one of those two limit sections here at all. They do have those behind the courtesy counter, so that is a little bit curious. We're probably going to pick up, I do like these blaster boxes that are usually shoved in the back, so we might pick up one of those. The mega boxes right here are honestly getting a little bit too pricey for me, so probably going to stay away from that. Maybe might pick it up, but we'll have to see. We do have all the football stuff and the basketball stuff and all those usual things. We do have one pack of select football, so that is going to be really hard for me to pass up. Going to have to pick up this pack for sure. So that is what they have here at this Target section. Thanks, guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of K-Cards Baseballs. We're at this Target store in Fargo, North Dakota, so I thought I'd give you guys a quick look at the card section and show you guys what it looks like today. As far as fat packs go, they do have Series 2, as well as all the usual fat packs that we get in the other sports. There's basketball and some football, some select football, which actually isn't a bad product. They do have tons of Topps Chrome baseball, as well as some mega boxes. Not so much on the mega boxes, maybe 6 or 7. And then some Donruss, some select football, all the other football products. Score, which is just out, but doesn't seem to be moving all that well. It's more of a lower end product. There's some Bowman baseball blasters, Series 1 blasters. Haven't seen much Series 1 recently, but that is what they have here. They don't have any Series 2 blasters, just the Series 1 blasters. So that's what they have here at this Target store. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of K-Cards Baseball. Thanks for joining me today on this lovely day. Hopefully everything is wonderful out there for all of you. Today on the channel, we are going to discuss the current state of retail product within the hobby. As most of you know, in my regular full-time job, I have the opportunity to visit several Targets pretty much every day. And in doing so, it gives me an opportunity to check out most of the card sections at most of the Target stores that I have, and I've seen some very concerning trends lately as far as the amount of product that is just sitting on the shelves, not moving at all, whether that be Topps product or Panini product. Neither one is really moving well at all. Part of the problem, I think, is that, as you saw in the intro video, Target has gone to limiting the amount of product that a consumer can buy on one given credit card on a daily basis. You can only buy quantities of 2 of the same product on the same credit card any given day. If you have multiple credit cards, you can buy 2 on each one of those credit cards. Those limits that Target has put on the product has really caused a problem with product just sitting on the store shelves currently. Most of that being basketball and football. There really isn't a lot of baseball product on the shelf, because the only baseball product that is out there currently that I have seen in quite a bit of abundance is Topps Chrome. There's still quite a bit of Series 2 stuff that's out there, and quite a bit of Bowman stuff that is still out there. Heck, I even ran into some holiday tins from last year at one of the Targets that I was in a couple of days ago, which is quite surprising. I thought all that product was already gone, but lo and behold, there it was sitting on the shelf. So not only do we have the additional product that we see sitting on the shelf, we have seen a trend over the past couple of years on the retail side as far as pack odds of pulling any sort of decent cards out of the retail side, as far as numbered parallels, autographs, or any of the major desirable inserts that you can get out of any Fanatics product, as well as any Panini product. I'm not as familiar with the Panini side as far as doing new release previews and those types of things, so I don't know how the pack odds have changed on the Panini side, but based on the amount of quantities of product that I'm seeing on the shelves currently, I would hazard to guess that those pack odds of pulling a decent card out of the Panini products is also a concern within the hobby. But that problem, as far as the quality of product, Target limiting the amount of quantities that you can buy at any given time, as well as the increase in price on all the product that we have seen from Fanatics releases recently has caused significant amount of additional inventory on the shelves. My biggest concern, however, it has gotten to the point where the product and the quality of product has really driven kids away from the hobby. I don't see very many parents out there buying product or buying cards for their kids. Once in a while, I'll see a kid walk by a card section with their parent or whatever, and they're trying to decide what product to buy, and they usually will go for the least expensive product, which is usually like fat packs and that type of thing. I see a lot of parents out there spending $30 or $25 to $30 for a blaster box. Right now, Chrome at $40 definitely is sitting out there quite a bit as far as the blaster boxes, and mega boxes at $75 after tax. I mean, really, what parent out there is going to go out there and spend $75 for a mega box of Top Chrome for their kid, unless it's for a special occasion like a birthday or something like that? But other than that, that product is generally sitting quite a bit. In the last year in particular, we have seen a dramatic shift in the focus for Fanatics as far as where they're putting the best hits or whether they're putting the biggest bang for your buck as far as whatever configuration that you buy. If you do remember last year and in previous years, we did have parallels or different parallels on the retail side. Last year, for example, we had the yellow parallels. I think in the hanger boxes, we had royal blue retail parallels, which was a retail exclusive parallel. We had numbered parallels, which were higher. Red parallels, for example, were to $199. I think we had purples, we had blues up to $7.99, and I think purple was like at $9.99 for number parallels, and they have eliminated that entirely going into this year and made it more uniform across all of the Fanatics products, where you do have the blues numbered to 150 and the greens numbered to 99, the golds numbered to 50, and the oranges to 25, and so on and so forth. That has become uniform, but by doing that, that has really dramatically increased the pack odds on the retail side, in particular, pulling any decent parallels on the retail side. They have shifted everything over to the hobby boxes and the jumbo boxes in their flagship product in particular. And that is really a big concern because it is really killing the retail side of the hobby. I mean, Series 2, you can even find some Series 1 still out there quite a bit, but Series 2 is still pretty prevalent on the shelves as we talk today. One thing I think that Fanatics really needs to realize is that the lifeblood of the hobby is those kids that are 6 to 12 years old. Those are the kids that really we need to get involved in collecting, because that is the generation that's going to continue to drive the hobby going forward for years to come. It isn't the big collector out there that is looking for single or more the financial side of the hobby. They aren't the ones that are going to be out there collecting a bunch of commons and those types of things. They're just looking for the big dollar card and flipping those types of cards. Those aren't the lifeblood of the hobby at all. It is the everyday, low budget retail collector, to be honest with you, or those collectors that can afford to buy a hobby box for $90 on their flagship product, for example. They aren't the people that are necessarily going to go out and spend $300 for a finest hobby box or more of the high-end products going forward. Those aren't the lifeblood of the hobby. The other big concern on the Fanatics side, and the Panini side for that matter, is that they continue to cater to the breakers out there. If you go onto Topps website on any sort of release day, the product sells out extremely fast because the breakers go in there and buy cases and cases and cases of product, and they do pretty much drive the everyday hobbyist out of the hobby because it becomes very difficult to just go in there and buy just one hobby box, because you have to do it right away. We saw that quite a bit of the National, where the breakers out there were buying up the National packs, for example, and I did a video all about that in my last National recap video. It is very concerning because those are the types of things that really are going to drive the everyday collector out of the hobby, is that if we continue to just focus on the breakers out there that are just looking at it for a financial gain more than anything else. Any breaker that I've watched on any sort of channel out there, I don't know how much they really know about the hobby, because it seems like they are much more interested in just getting as much product out there as quickly as they can for the best price that they possibly can. They aren't really what I would call the everyday collector, or the people that are really passionate about the hobby, or really concerned about the health of the hobby in general. Just to give you an additional idea as far as where I think Fanatics is going and where their focus is going forward, is that the only release that I have seen them eliminate this year so far is Big League. Big League, as you know, was very much a kid-friendly product with the type of inserts that we did have in that set. It was a lower value product. I think the blasters were actually right around $19.99 last year on Big League, but it isn't exactly what I would call a high quality product, but it was a great way to introduce kids into the hobby at an affordable rate. But it does look like that is the only product that Topps has eliminated so far this year. So that gives you a little bit of an idea as where Fanatics' focus is in the hobby going forward. They are going to continue to focus on catering to the big breakers out there, or the volume buyers, rather than the everyday collector, and generally pushing out the everyday collector. I think they're generally having a philosophy that where they price their product or some of their products so high that is not affordable for the everyday collector, and they are driving more collectors to going to the breakers to buy product or buy singles or buy into any product that Topps puts out on a regular basis. So let's talk a little bit about what can be done about these issues going forward. I think one of the major concerns as far as Target limiting the amount of quantities that you can buy, I think they should eliminate that entirely, except for on new releases. It is really important to limit the quantities on new releases to make the product more available to the everyday collector. Quite often when a new release comes out is generally 2 to 3 weeks before you're going to see that product on the store shelves, because as soon as the stock person for XL Marketing or MJ Holdings puts the product out there, it is pretty much gone. The current biggest sellers in the hobby are the TCG stuff, the Pokemon, the Magic cards, and those types of things, and those products are generally out entirely on the store shelves, and I think that that is part of the reason why Target has put in that quantity limitation, but I don't think they really need to do it on all the sports cards. Topps Chrome Basketball is everywhere. You can buy it anywhere. It is not moving at all, as well as most of the other Fanatics basketball releases currently, whether that be Phoenix or Donruss or NBA Hoops on the Panini side. Those products are just sitting there and you can buy them pretty readily. So why are they limiting the quantities that people can buy on product that isn't selling? I think it is really important to limit the quantities people can buy when it comes to new releases. Maybe for the first 2 or 3 weeks after a release is put out, let's go ahead and limit the quantities to 2 per person. That makes the product more readily available to all of the consumers out there, rather than just someone that goes out there and just takes all the product off the shelf. The flippers, for example, that just go in there and just buy the whole shelf out in one fell swoop, and usually have communication with the stock person from XL and MJ Holdings as far as when they're going to stock, so that they're there right away to pick up the product as they're putting it on the shelf. Other things I think that Fanatics can do to curb this problem or make the product more friendly across all the different configurations, whether that be blasters or fat packs or any other retail product, is maintain print runs and bring value to the retail product. From the trends that I have seen lately, even though I had a difficult time trying to find print runs out there for 2025 product, it does appear that Fanatics has increased the print runs on their product. I don't want to use the term junk wax era returning, but it does look like print runs have increased over products, and that has decreased the value that you're going to get on any of the number parallels or any of the autograph cards or that type of thing. In Chrome, for example, with I think there's 166 rookies that have autograph cards in Chrome this year. Do we really need 166 rookies to have autographs? As most of you know from the recent videos I have posted on the mega box breaks I've done in Topps Chrome, each box that I have opened so far has contained an autograph card, but they are autograph cards of usually bullpen relief pitchers for bad teams. I've gotten 2 White Sox relief pitcher autograph cards, as well as 1 Miami Marlin relief pitcher autograph card. So is there any value there in those cards? Maybe $1 or $2. I'd really like to see them reduce the amount of autograph cards in Topps Chrome from 166, and let's just focus on the top 75 or even the top 50 rookies in the class, and make those autograph cards more valuable and more of a chase card rather than just a numbered card to 150 of some player that you never heard of. Another thing I think that Fanatics can do going forward is that if they're going to reduce the chances of pulling a decent parallel on the retail side and put that more into the hobby box and jumbo boxes, they have to make the product more desirable for the everyday consumer to buy. And I think one good way to do that is reintroduce giveaways into the retail format. In previous years, last year and previous years, we had those home run challenge cards, and that was actually kind of fun. It was a way to get kids and get people involved in the hobby and kind of follow their player that they got in a home run challenge card if they submitted a date that person was going to hit a home run. It was kind of a fun deal, and I think it's really important for Fanatics to reintroduce the giveaways to make the product more desirable on the retail side. I think if they make it a fairly substantial giveaway where you get something of actual value and a decent chase, it will really create buzz, or the person that doesn't have a tremendous money to spend on hobby boxes and things like that to go out there and buy product and possibly pull one of those really nice chase giveaways. That would be a lot of fun, and I think Fanatics should really consider reintroducing the giveaway. As I mentioned earlier, they did eliminate Big League this year in their releases for this year, and I think it is really important to maintain some sort of a lower end product that will be affordable for the everyday collector or the kid collector out there to go out and buy. I don't know what that looks like going forward, but if they continue to focus on the higher end product and really work on reducing or eliminating the lower end product, they're really going to have a difficult time bringing kids into the hobby, the lifeblood of the hobby, and keep them interested in the hobby going forward. I think that they're focusing on Series 1 and Series 2, or the flagship product, quite a bit, and they're kind of counting on that being their lower end product for the everyday collector going forward. Long-term collectors know they did have a fair amount of lower end product that was pretty readily available. Back in the past, they had Opening Day, which was a lower end product, and that was kind of a fun product to go out there and buy. Some of those cards are still holding some value today, as well as Big League and other lower end products for the everyday collector. So they really need to reintroduce some sort of product that is geared towards the everyday collector on the retail side. Something that isn't going to be a pain point for a parent to buy their kid a box of cards. As we all know, the price of everything has gone up quite a bit lately, and that trend isn't going to change. So the amount of disposable income that the average family has these days to go out and spend on cards, for example, is quite limited. So I think it is really important for Fanatics to realize that and keep some sort of lower end product available to the everyday collector. I would really be an advocate for them bringing back the Opening Day product. I thought that was kind of a fun product and was kind of a nice product to have right around Opening Day of the baseball season. They could also do it for the Opening Day of basketball and football. Since they own the rights of those sports going forward, they can have an Opening Day for both of those products, because as we know, most kids out there are much more interested in basketball and football and not necessarily baseball. So that is my thoughts as far as what I think Fanatics or retailers can do to make the product more available to the everyday collector. I do want to roll over to a spreadsheet really quick to kind of illustrate the points I have made as far as the trends that we have seen recently on the retail product, as far as the pack odds of pulling decent parallels on a retail product. So let's go ahead and roll over the spreadsheet and check that out. On the spreadsheet in front of you, you can see a comparison between 2024 and 2025 for the 4 major releases that we have had on the top sides this year that they did have retail products released. Obviously, they don't have retail products released for Finest or Inception or any of their higher end product. We don't see blaster boxes of those products at all. So this is just for the releases that they have had on the retail side, including Series 1, Series 2, Bowman, and Chrome. And what I've done here is list off the pack odds for 2024 and 2025. The differences here under Series 1 and Series 2, the numbered parallels on the retail side last year are different than what they are this year. They have gone with a more uniform numbered parallel list this year than what they did last year. For example, let's say blues. I think a blue last year was numbered to like 899 or 999 or something, whereas typically in all the other releases is numbered to 150. So that is what we have this year, where you see blues numbered to 150 in every 613 packs in Series 1 and 394 in Series 2. The reason why we have a dramatic difference from Series 1 to Series 2 as far as number parallels go is the print run on Series 1 is significantly higher than it is on Series 2, and that is reflected here in the pack odds of getting number parallels. There's less packs that are out there, so the chances of pulling a number parallel are better than what they're going to be in Series 1. Where we can do a decent comparison from last year to this year is in the insert parallels. For example, Independence Day camos, golden mirrors, HFAs, heavy lumber, and vintage. You can see how the pack odds have changed from last year to this year. Independence Day, for example, in Series 1, went from 1 in every 1,107 packs last year to 1 in every 1,448 this year. Camos have gone up pretty significantly, 1 in every 3,288 last year to 1 in every 4,436 this year. Golden mirrors has increased about 2/3 from 1 in 587 to 788. And HFAs has remained constant from last year to this year in both Series 1 and Series 2. Heavy lumber and vintage have also increased proportionally last year to this year. So I think that that is a pretty fair comparison. I think part of this is reflected again in print runs. We did have a higher print run this year, looks like, than we did last year, and that is reflected in the pack odds. Bowman, if we look at Bowman from last year to this year, you can see the pack odds have remained steady from last year to this year, which means that the print run from last year to this year is pretty much the same. Even though the pack odds have remained the same and pulling a decent number parallel out of blaster boxes in Bowman is the same from last year to this year, I think the quality of the product was better last year than what it is this year, primarily because I like the inserts more last year than I do this year. Now when we look at Chrome, and I'll move the camera over so we can kind of focus on Chrome. These are just for Chrome blaster boxes as it is all the other formats here. In blaster boxes this year, the pack odds of pulling a decent parallel from this year to last year is significantly worse this year than what it was last year. Again, I think that they have probably increased the print runs this year based on the amount of product that I'm seeing readily available out there. I'm sure that they have, but it has really killed the pack odds and the dilution of the product. Negatives, for example, last year 1 every 249 packs, this year it's 1,487. Purples to 250 have basically doubled from 1 in every 334 to 1 in every 653 this year. Look at this one. The aquas have gone to 1 in every 503 to 1 in every 821 this year. Greens, 1 in every 1,016 last year, 1 in every 1,657. So about 640 more packs you have to open this year versus last year to get a decent green card. And golds have really gotten bad. 1 in every 2,014 last year to 1 every 3,286 this year. Oranges and blacks were not in blaster boxes last year, but you can see the pack odds here. Reds have gotten significantly worse this year. Reds to 5, 1 in every 20,000 packs last year to 1 in every 33,000 packs this year. So that, I think, is a pretty accurate illustration as far as the changes from last year to this year as far as pack odds and the quality of the blaster boxes and retail product as a whole versus last year. So that's about all I got for you guys tonight. Let me know down in the comment section below what you think of this particular topic, or whether you think that this is an issue on the retail side, and what your thoughts are on this particular topic. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And thank you to all my OG subscribers for your continued support. Stay tuned to the K Cards channel for other great content coming up, including additional rips of Topps Chrome and some new release videos, as well as other great content coming up on the channel. Be safe out there, guys, and happy collecting. We'll talk to you guys in the coming days with more great content. Thanks, guys.